What's up, everybody? Real good here. Interesting things going on. Let's talk. Of course, if you're not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you want to send me some love, head over to patreon.com/realgoodlife. I appreciate you. So I'm coming down the mountain from the middle of a camping trip with a group of friends that I drove up here last night, actually. And with one particular individual, I feel like I keep getting caught in intellectual disagreements with this person. I'm not exactly sure why I get caught in these things with him. I think it's a mix of me caring and also getting caught by some of the absurdity, but also just enjoying intellectual discussion. The issue is I don't actually tend to enjoy intellectual discussion with him. I get caught in intellectual discussion subconsciously expecting a caliber of understanding and give and take, and I feel a lack of that in this case. So, yeah, this video is about intellectual debate with friends. Here's my thought for you. It's basically not worth it. It's something to work up to. Now, I'm not sure what to do in the case if someone tends to go that route. Like, what do you do with someone if they're speaking up, technically on the violence scale, telling you how you should be, acting out? It gets even more frustrating for me when that person is entertaining, popular, attractive, and violent in their intellectualizations and their casting of opinions. It's hard for me to sit with. Certainly there's some opportunities there for me to reflect on myself and see myself. Nice opportunity for a mirror. But for my practice, I'd rather be able to continue holding space and hearing non-violently, even when the discussion is sort of violent or soapboxy. It's a little odd to me to be experiencing this out in paradise among this community, because most of this community seems to be very much more self-owned and somatic-based. But again, this person is attractive, athletic, fun, friendly, when they do emerge from their long hiatus, and I've also seen a pattern of that in the community, but I digress. I've also noticed individuals who I would imagine would rank really high on the spectrum of agreeableness. They seem to bring a warm-heartedness. It's easy to be around them, and I really appreciate that. And if we tie all of this back into some of the discussions we've started to have about 10x, 100x, billionaire level power dynamics and how we can integrate their ways into our own life and being, I would like to have both the warm-hearted agreeableness, especially with friends and in community, and also have the capacity to stand for myself, non-violently but firmly. And I feel that that's what I've done, and that is how I've ended up now on my own, not intentionally, but it doesn't make that much of a difference to me at the moment. But taking space from the camp, as I expressed the desire to take the space from camp, it did not feel well received. I don't think anyone felt like it was warm and fuzzy. And I think the only way to result in the warm and fuzzy feeling was to kind of skate around with the vibe and just ease into the power dynamics, which in this case, that particular individual seems to be sort of the one holding the power. And so I went ahead and reclaimed autonomy, moved my stuff either into my car or into my tent and left it there, offered for them to either come with me or take things out of the car that they wanted. And then the discussion seemed to amp up. And I noticed that there seemed to be some enmeshment between some of the individuals, namely some of the individuals that are having sex with each other, which seems to cause enmeshment. And I noticed a sort of teaming forming around that. And it's interesting, and I want to watch that as maybe here's another note, another lesson learned, is if I'm going to say yes and join into a group, as I have done in the past, I can also be sensitive, even when it feels very close to my group, can recognize, is this actually my group? Whose group is this? Who's going to be wielding the majority power here? And should I step back or step up? In this case, I eventually chose to step up for myself. I'm glad I did, but again, tensions came up. And so I think in some cases there's just a trade-off of, I could continue to sit in the shit and try to process what emotionally came up for me. Or I can go enjoy my day. The question is, what's the downside? People rubbed the wrong way. Is that lost connections? Is it lost rapport? What's the overall effect? And I think that's where the billionaire mindset would come into play, is really sort of just ruthlessly questioning the outcome. Almost forsaking the personal experience for the sake of possibly others' personal experiences, for the sake of whatever outcome they're up to. I don't know what it is, money, power, whatever they're up to. And in this case, I definitely stood strong for myself, which does not, myself emotionally, I guess, for joy and for inner peace. And I don't think that's the billionaire approach. I really don't. I think what we might call the billionaire approach, or the billionaire mindset, is to find what I've started to tap into, and so this is where some of my suspicion is coming from, is that the billionaire mindset can include inner peace, but it's a truer, deeper inner peace, where it's not like, I feel emotionally fine right now. It's an even deeper sense of, even when you're not feeling okay, and you're not feeling not feeling okay, that deep down inside, there's like a don't care, don't give there's a solidness underneath that, or a faith that's alive in that present, an unflinchingness, which honestly, the way I showed up here, I think felt too strong and stiff for this group, and would have felt too sensitive and touchy-feely for a boardroom full of executives, CEOs. So it's interesting for me trying to spread that gap and live these lifestyles where I have both the lifestyle with the wealthy, powerful, as well as really this, at least currently, preferred realm of interpersonal experience. Now, this is not the interpersonal intimacy, the healthy interpersonal intimacy group. This is a closely related group. And my allegiance is really, at this time, first and foremost, a healthy self, and then healthy interpersonal. This is more of like a fun movement, nature camp. This group also does drugs, which I don't participate in. So yeah, interesting to keep having discernment is another thing that comes up, right? I love these folks. These folks are my friends, and I really enjoy some of our interactions. Don't apparently necessarily want to be trapped on a mountain with all of them. I definitely don't want to be trapped on a mountain with a bunch of CEOs. Probably, I don't know. Interesting questions, not really relevant at the moment, but plenty of lessons have come up already, and we are just about in the beauty of it all. So let's stop and give you a little peek. We're gonna be heading that way. So that's it, y'all. That's a nice little introduction to some of the things we'll be talking about in the next few videos as we go through this day. It's been real good. If you want to send me some love, head over to patreon.com/realgoodlife. And if you got some value out of this, hit that like button. Leave comments. All your feedback is welcome. Appreciate you. See you soon.